Peace. You know what this is? Dropping knowledge. Back some years ago, before I decided to go to college, I had an interesting conversation with my cousin. My cousin was in a fraternity called the Omega Psi Phi's. He explained to me the history of the organization and some of their more popular members. Since I was months away from graduating, I decided I would check out some of these fraternities. I just didn't limit myself to just the Omegas, or the Q Dogs, as they are often referred to. I checked out the Alphas, Kappas, and a few others. While I was in high school, I had a huge fascination with Africa and Egypt. I had bought books on Egypt and Africa. My godmother had a co-worker who was from Africa, and she would tell me lots of wonderful things about the continent. She had also visited Egypt and would astonish me with Egyptian history. Once I graduated high school, I didn't go to college immediately. Instead, I joined the military. Once there, I ran into people who were former gang members or some still claiming affiliation. Since where I come from, there are no gangs, so to speak, like the Bloods, Crips, GDs, or Vice Lords. It was interesting how I came to understand what being in the gang was about. Also how a gang is formulated and the initiation rituals. These are the most commonly accepted practices of a gang. They all have a particular color they favor, they all have a rival gang, and they all have a violent, sometimes brutal initiation ritual. This country, believe it or not, was built upon gangs. In the movie Gangs of New York, the facts of this is illustrated. I then had the opportunity to attend a step show one year. A step show is when certain fraternities and sororities get together and often challenge each other in unique dance moves. At the show, I witnessed a fight that was so horrific that if it wasn't a college campus, you would think you were on the streets, between two fraternities. The end result was several members were hurt. Also, several members were subsequently taken to jail. At the time, I thought this was just an isolated event, until I visited yet another step show and witnessed the same thing. I was amazed at how supposedly educated black men were behaving in this fashion. Since then, I can't tell you how many news reports I've seen of fraternity members going overboard with their hazing, which eventually ended in some students' deaths. I often see fraternity members throwing up gang signs or stacking, as the gangsters put it. I know some of you will be appalled that I'm connecting criminal gangs with these so-called service organizations. However, if you study them both, you will only see the difference in both of these is the street gangs' open affiliation with crime. I also heard the sororities supposedly represent the elite of black women, when I personally know of members of these sororities who date thugs, believe it or not, wear weaves, fake nails, contact lenses, and often wear their hair dyes and perms. I don't see where any of these black men or women are any different, except they may be educated. The same way I have seen members of fraternities dressing or acting as thugs. Besides, most of these organizations have secrets that, if revealed, will place them in an unfavorable light. Most people join these organizations as to get preferential treatment and not to service the community, as most of these organization members claim. I never seen any of them in the hood. As black people, we often feel the need to be down with something or someone. I choose the truth. What or who do you choose? And on that note, I teach and I don't preach. Peace.